We're here today with Kings College football coach Jeff Knarr on Kings Spotlight. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, it's hard to believe, but this is week 9 and only 2 more games remain in this season. This week, the Monarchs host Lebanon Valley College at 1 p.m. But before we get to that game, let's look back last week at your impressive 34-21 victory over Stevenson. Coach, offensively against Stevenson, the team really executed the game plan. You dominated the game early on, running the ball, and Stevenson had to adjust to try to stop the run, and that opened things up for the pass. Is that how you drew the game plan up?
That's what we had in mind, that we knew was going to happen. As an 8-man front, but some of the things you can do formationally, we felt confident that we could run the football. But you had to make plays in the passing game, as again they were going to pack the box and eventually make adjustments to try to stop the run if we were having successful. And Tyler and the wide receivers did a great job, executing the pass plays that called from there to make big plays and really ignite the offense.
Defensively, your team had a major challenge in trying to contain Stevenson's outstanding tailback, K.K. Smith. He entered the game with 143 yards per game average, but your defense held him to a season-low 90 yards. Talk about the effort of your defense in that game.
I mean, they did a great job, and that was the challenge that we issued all week, is that, they had a great opportunity, to hold the leading rusher in check, which was going to, tilt everything to our favor defensively and be able to stop and control and contain them, offensively. Because as he goes, they go, and he's a big play kind of guy and opens up a lot of things for their play action, their boot, which they're very good at. So our kids responded well and did an outstanding job, controlling a very, very talented back.
Well, looking ahead to this week, you have another quality opponent coming to McCarthy Stadium as Lebanon Valley College comes to Wilkes-Barre for our Week 9 game. This game also marks Senior Day, where your 10 seniors will be making their final home appearance. Can you share with us the emotions that go through the team, the seniors, as well as the coaching staff during this week of preparation?
It's our last game, and what we tell the kids is it's our last game on this field, and everything that we do this week is to make sure that we come off that field at 4 o'clock on Saturday with a win for our seniors in their last home game. I mean, they've given 4 years to the program, everything they had. These 10 have done a great job of building chemistry and integrating 2 young underclass classes in with the juniors and themselves to form a team and build a foundation going forward. So they're well respected within the team, and it's our job to do the best we can for them to come off the field with a victory from there. And then also, sadly, you start to realize, time is running out with these 10. I mean, they've been a great asset, and they've been a joy to be around and coach. And you ultimately know the end is near. And that's sad, because we wish we'd keep playing, because these are great great 10 individuals.
Well, you're playing a very good Lebanon Valley team that enters the game with a 5-3 record while standing 4-3 in the MAC. Their losses have come to the top 3 teams in the conference, to Lycoming, Delaware Valley, and also nationally ranked Widener, that they were ahead by 16 points midway through the 4th quarter, and Widener came back for the win. So clearly they're a very talented team. What makes them a difficult opponent?
They're well balanced across the board. I mean, well coached fundamentally in all 3 phases. In those 3 losses, I mean, they had opportunities to win the football game. So they can play, with and compete and at times be better than the teams that have won conference championships here in the recent past. They're big, and physical from there. They have a good core of upperclassmen to make plays, but they're just sound fundamental football team. They don't make a lot of mistakes.
In knowing Lebanon Valley is solid on both sides of the ball, would it be fair to say that it is extremely important for your team to establish sophomore tailback Kyle McGrath, who was the second leading runner in the MAC with 836 yards, in order to help the passing game give you the balance you seek?
Absolutely. I mean, again, if you can, run the football and play good defense, that gives you, a good opportunity. So offensively, again, we need to get him going, because then that's forcing defenses to do different things, and that'll, again, help open up opportunities to throw the ball. And then every week, our passing game has gotten better and starting to be able to stand, on its own and do things. And again, we're going to lean on that to be able to make plays to help offset, a good running game, which we need to have Saturday.
The past 6 or 7 years, Lebanon Valley has been among the top rushing teams in the MAC. Last year, they graduated their all-time leading rusher in Ben Giles, so there may be a little bit more of a get-it-done-by committee team this year. The team ranks 4th in the MAC in rushing yardage, but senior tailback Pete Panici has really stepped up and done an excellent job, and is the 4th leading rusher in the MAC with 582 yards and a 4.8 yards per carry average. Can you share your thoughts about Panici and the LVC running game?
You know, with him, I mean, he's been a backup for 3 years. I know when he was a sophomore, you know, he got some carries against us from there. So he's somebody that's been playing for them, and their scheme is good. I mean, they have a good offensive line, and he's just a good, hard running back that does a great job. And they run, you know, their version of sprint draw, you know, better than anybody. And they have a couple signature runs that they do extremely well. And he's a good, hard running back, good vision. You know, and you know, can make people miss and get the tough yards when needed, and also knows how to use a good offensive line that's in front of him.
Well, the Lebanon Valley passing game has also been effective, as the team ranks 4th in the conference with 201.9 passing yards per game. That provides them with a very balanced offense as well. So talk about quarterback Leo Kite and the job he has done as a first-year starter.
I think he's done a tremendous job. I mean, I actually saw film and met Leo in a recruiting night when I was at Muhlenberg, you know, and we liked what we saw from him. And obviously he shows, you know, great character and desire to be a college football player. So he was willing to, you know, to bide his time and compete up until now. He gets an opportunity as a senior to have 1 year, and he's made the most of it. And he does a great job being in the pocket, throwing the ball, you know, on time, and hitting his receivers. And he has a very good receiver, you know, one of the top guys in the MAC from there. But he's done a great job of leading their team and, you know, making plays when he has to make plays and not really, you know, hurting them by trying to do more than, you know, what they're asking him to do.
And knowing that the Lebanon Valley offense has a very productive sprint draw game and a good passing game as well, what does your defense need to do to contain the Leb Val offense?
You know, continue kind of what we did, you know, last game, which we, you know, built upon, is that, you know, here's the call, and everyone go do their job in the call from there. And then again, every week, you know, we're seeing our young secondary, you know, get better and better, and then they can, you know, continue to do that, and we can vary in, you know, our coverages to try to, you know, keep Lebanon Valley, you know, off balance from there, and then everyone just play with, you know, poise and under control, you know, defensively. You know, if you get out of control, you know, that's where some of the cutback lanes and alleys open up from there. And defensively, we've done a pretty good job. And every week, our kids are getting a, you know, much better job of being in control, not giving the cutback, and we've been able to control the run, you know, from that standpoint, and continue to work hard and run through tackles. And, you know, we put a lot of pressure on the quarterback last week, and now this week the goal is put pressure and also then finish with some sacks. So kind of keep doing what we're doing and continue to improve, you know, this week from last.
What's the most difficult thing about defending the sprint draw?
Not over pursuing, you know, from that saying. It's not, you know, everyone gets ahead of it, and then next thing he cuts and goes out the back door.
Well, Coach, it's time to look ahead to the other games around the MAC this week. Last week you were a perfect 4 for 4, so let's see how you do this week. Our first game is Wilkes University, which is 4-4 overall and 3-4 in the MAC, playing at second place Delaware Valley, who is 6-2 and 6-1 in the MAC.
I mean, again, Del Val, they look like, you know, watching them against, you know, Lebanon Valley, they took advantage of turnovers that they created, you know, there. They got their running game going pretty good. They do a pretty good job in the play action. You know, I just think that, you know, they have, you know, too many athletes and, you know, stronger up front, and then eventually be able to wear Wilkes down and come away with the win.
Our second game is Stevenson University, who we just played. They are 1-7 overall, 1-6 in the MAC, and they are at third place Lycoming, who was 6-2 and 6-1 in the MAC.
You know, again, Stevenson, you know, no one's been able to run the ball against Lycoming. I mean, their defense, you know, is just tough, physical. They don't make, you know, any mistakes. So, you know, as long as Lycoming's defense is, you know, up to the challenge and contain, you know, their top running back, you know, Lycoming offensively is very well balanced, and they do a great job, you know, running the ball, throwing the ball, mixing it up. I think they just may have, you know, too many weapons for Stevenson to handle.
And our third game is first-year program Misericordia University, which is still looking for their first win of the year. They're 0-8 and 0-7 in the MAC, and they are at fourth place Albright, who is 5-3 and 4-3 in the MAC.
You know, last week I didn't, you know, see any film of it, but you read the stats and the recap. It's not like Albright might have played maybe their best game offensively, you know, against Widener. They were right in that and pushed them, I think, farther than maybe people expected, and just came up a little bit short. I just think Albright has, you know, too many weapons offensively to be able to exploit a young, young inexperienced defense that Misericordia has. So I think Albright, you know, will get that win.
And our final game is first place Widener, which is 8-0 and 7-0 in the MAC, playing at FDU Florham, who is 2-6 and 2-5.
You know, and again, I mean, you know, both offenses are kind of similar. I think the big difference obviously is Widener is a more veteran, older offense and operating on a higher level, and FDU is kind of a younger guys, and when they get things going, it goes well. But they're having that consistency problem that young teams have from there. And again, and Widener finds ways to to win football games and is able to make plays when needed. And I think they'll make enough plays and be able to take care of FDU.
Well, Coach, that's all the time we have for today. On Saturday, it is Senior Day at Kings as the Monarchs host Lebanon Valley College at 1 p.m. at McCarthy Stadium. Thank you for your time and good luck this weekend to the Monarchs and especially to our 10 seniors.
Thank you.